Okay, good afternoon. So the injury update for Justin, really no change. He's doubtful for this week. Working with trainers, continues to progress. He's just not there yet. Bajent will be our starter. Um, until that time he is cleared. So we're squared away on that. And again, excited for Tyson's opportunity again this week for him to start in the game. Davis will not be available this week. He's also week to week, will not be available. Roshan Johnson is coming back, and it looks good. He's got another hurdle that he has to clear, but it looks real positive, and that looks good for Wednesday, but we'll see where it is at that time. Brisker went into concussion protocol, and he's cleared. So we're all set with him going from the game. And then we'll have a full injury report after Wednesday's practice. Just to talk about the game a little bit offensively, and really as a football team, really nice complementary football, scoring points, obviously the defensive touchdown. When you get one of those, it gives you 80% win rate. So we are on the right side of that one this time, so it was good. And, really we were better on third down on both sides of the ball. I thought the O-line did a really good job of protecting. We had a plan, for obviously they're really good, for their good pass rusher. And I thought we executed that plan. To credit to the tight ends, the offensive line, being able to, do a solid job on that good pass rusher for sure, and the coaches as well. Foreman, I thought really did a nice job. I thought Coach Walker did a really good job preparing him and the running backs all week. In their protections and in the run game, I thought he did a nice job of that. Coach Walker did. And obviously, Tyson did a good job of operating the offense. And, my hat's off to Getsy and also to Janoko. Those guys did a really good job there preparing those guys. And really Justin, Justin, did as I said yesterday, did a wonderful job of helping him during the course of the week, in the game, halftime, and, just the whole week. And he did a really good job with that. Defensively, really proud of the guys the last 3 weeks. We held offensive touchdowns, held them, 4 touchdowns over the last 3 weeks. We've done a good job on third down the last 3 weeks, so we got to continue to do that. And the rushing yards have been down the last 3 or 4 weeks too. So we got to do a really good job of that. Coming up, it's always a formula for good winning football. And sacks are starting to come up a little bit. Pressures are coming up a little bit, and we always want more there, of course. But we got to do a good job with that going forward. With that, open up to questions.
The offensive drive in the third quarter, when you went back and reviewed the entirety of that, 15 plays over 8 minutes, you end up at the end. What struck you about the entirety of that drive?
I would just say the efficiency, right? When you do get on first down, that's always a big part of it. They have a stat, and I get a lot of stats thrown at me a bunch of times, but the first down of the series, if that's a positive 4+ play, your ability to score there is goes up dramatically, and having positive plays on your first downs within are so huge, and not getting behind, and that to me is what really stuck out to me, and that's what efficiency is, right? You don't get a holding penalty that puts you back. You don't get certain situations, false starts, which we had some of those yesterday, and we had too many of those, so we got to clean those up. Got to clean up the holding penalties that we had, and again, you don't agree with all those, but that's what it is. But again, just efficiency.
The biggest play on that drive was the throwback screen from Tyson to Deontay. What struck you about that entire sequence? Tyson kind of referred to
really good play call by Getsy, I thought. Good rhythm and timing of that in terms of when he called it, and it was good timing by the offensive line. The offensive line really sold the fake, and and we hadn't run that play yet this year, so it wasn't on tape yet. And just really good timing by Foreman too. It was really good.
And yesterday, Jaylon Johnson, after the game, talked about how he would like to get paid. He would like it to be here with the Bears. One of the things that he said though is, I feel like I'm one of those guys who could get paid at a high level. And I know that this is Ryan Poles' area to negotiate and all that, but as a defensive coordinator throughout your life and knowing defense, is he one of those guys who should get paid a lot as a cornerback?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm not going to talk about money, with contracts, but I've always enjoyed, seeing those guys, get what they're due. All the guys that I've coached and had, produce, and a lot of guys that are at a high level. You know, it's good to see that when that happens, and I'm always happy for them and their families. But that's all I really got to say about it. Again, I'm not going to get into the negotiations of all those things. That's between him and Ryan, and we'll see where it goes.
Matt, going back to Jaylon for a second though, when you were hired, you talked a lot about trying to find out if Jaylon was the right type of corner for your system. How has he shown you that he is over the last year and a half?
Yeah, he's done everything we've asked. He's been, really good in training camp. He's worked every single day during that process. He's worked his craft. He's done a really good job of improving his craft. He's always been really good in terms of being sticky, at the top of routes, and being able to close distances and make plays on the ball. Now he's starting to make those interceptions, which is positive, right? Obviously getting takeaways is a big thing. So, and the tackling's better, and that's, there's no house guests on our defense, so everybody tackles, and it will be a good tackling team when our corners tackle. And he's done a good job with that.
Matt,
What are some of the things?
What did you like about the clock in Bajan's head? He took one sack. A couple of times he got out of there on that third quarter drive.
Mhm.
Crosby's coming around the end. He goes up the left hash. It seemed like he knew when to get rid of it, knew when to put his head down and run, and that it wasn't too big for him.
Yeah, it must be those 7,000 passes he's thrown in his life. But yeah, I think that he's got a good knack for that. He really does. He understands the play design. He understands where it's supposed to go, and he gets rid of it in a timely fashion. And even when it was off schedule, in terms of the pressure, he was able, because he's athletic enough to be able to evade. And he had that nice scramble on the first touchdown. So he's able to do those things, and that's his skill set. And he did a nice job with it.
I'm curious whether the timer in his head would be different against the Vegas Raiders than it was against Colorado School of Mines. You know what I mean? It's just
Yeah, I didn't see that. Like, during preseason, I didn't see that. I saw all positive things there. I thought it was right on time, and I think he was poised the entire game.
And I've had a lot of people ask why Nathan Peterman was in under center at the end of the game as opposed to Tyson Bagent.
Yeah, it's something that we do on offense. You put a guy in there to get a rep, with that at the end. It's just nothing more than that.
Matt, you had a winning, efficient game plan for Bagent, but it was a very conservative one. How much room is there for him to kind of open things up against the Chargers? And do you think eventually you'll have to if he's still your quarterback, or can you just do what you did and still win?
Yeah, what we liked most about it was, I think it was 9 different targets that he had with our football team and putting it to the skill. So we want to definitely continue to do that, and that was really positive. Again, you can win a lot of different ways, and every week's different. And we'll find a way, to, during the next couple of days, what's going to work this week. We'll keep working at it.
But does his game allow you to open things up a little bit and throw downfield and be aggressive? And
No question. Yeah, he's a rhythm and a timing passer, and he's got all the abilities to do all those things.
so was that opponent specific, or is that just because his first start, you didn't want to throw too much at him? What's the process, I guess, to get to that point,
Yeah, I think it's both, Obviously, the first time coming out, you want to be very successful, and, I think it matters with the opponents you're playing, the rushers you're playing, the coverages they're playing, what their style is, what their offense looks like. I think it's all encompassing.
Given the evolution of your wide receivers room, Tyler has stepped into height and roll the last few weeks. What has been your impression of just kind of the way he's responded to increased opportunity?
Yeah, it's been good. I think, in terms of his, functional intelligence, being able to get on the field and operate, that's number one. Obviously, the speed. You love the speed. The ability to, really, stress the defense vertically, which is really cool. And then his ability to, like that one play he made over the middle, was a real nice play too. So, and really his blocking is starting to improve, because we ask all of our guys, it's like the same opposite, right? We'll be a good blocking team when our receivers block, and they do a nice job on the backside, in the crack game. So he's doing all that.
Now, when you examined, or not you, when the team examined Justin today, was it the swelling had not gone down? Was it the grip strength was not where you need it to be? what didn't happen?
Yeah, I'm just gonna go back to what I said, you know, he's with the trainers, you know, he's, you know, doubtful this week, and that's where it is, you know, so
Are you still of the belief that you guys are on the path to avoiding surgery and IR and all
we
that?
do think we're on the right path, yes, we do, yep.
With your run defense, the way they've played the past few weeks, what are some of the things that's allowed it to be so successful?
Well, run defense is a group effort. You know, it takes all 11 to be have a good run defense, and we've had some good ones. And you know, again, we're in the middle of the process of this season, so we got to keep doing what we're doing and do it better. And it's everybody. You know, to me, it starts in the middle. You know, with your defensive tackles, and it starts with your linebackers having the ability to get downhill. You know, and to create little space for the runners to run. Then you work to the outside. You know, the defensive end's got to do a great job of setting edges. You know, so when you really create that inside cup and squeeze the run game off like that, I think it's really good. Then it goes out to the perimeter. You know, so eventually you're going to make your corners tackle with the crack replace game, and you know, our corners got to do a great job of taking out the space, which they've done. You know, and again, we've got to do a better job on the one. We missed a tackle on the one yesterday that kind of came out of there, and. But yeah, it's everybody. It's the safeties too. You know, the safeties running the alley, making sure they're doing a great job with their pursuit angles. You know, if you're in shell, they're outside in, inside out, and middle field closed. But yeah, it's everybody.
Matt, has Justin tried to throw at all? Has he gotten to the point where he can even attempt to throw with that hand?
He's working with the trainers. That's where I'm going. You know, he's just working with the trainers, and that's where he is right now.
With Braxton, is that injury more serious than maybe we thought at first? Is he out longer term?
No, we'll see where it is. You know, we'll have an update for you on Wednesday, but I know his window, you know, could potentially open up at that time.